with us.
Yes, so much fun. Where's Mom? What was I saying before about?
But some people think they're too young.
Two. That's my new favorite thing. They're twos list.
Okay.
Or they're twos excuses. The two excuses. TOO. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm too poor. I'm too rich. I'm too sick. I'm too healthy. I'm too whatever. They always give me that excuse. I'm too young to do this. And it was actually when we went to the GoPro event that I met, I've followed him before, but Alex Morton is like an amazing entrepreneur. He's 25 years old. He's already made over $1 million with his company. He's like a huge top money earner in his company and is a big network marketer, and he's young. He's from my generation. And so it was just crazy to see this guy who's built this huge organization. I think he has over 70,000 distributors in his team. And he totally changed my mindset on that, because I kept thinking, well, I'm too young. I don't have any kids. I'm not a mom. I haven't been broke on the side of the road with begging for people to keep my house. I don't have that. So even just a minute ago, I was telling Claudia, I don't have a story to tell. I don't have nobody's going to want to sign up with me because I don't have all this to tell that I overcame or this or that. And it just really got me thinking when Alex Morton said, you can't let any excuse hold you back. Definitely that you were too young or too old or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he even said, I think, how many people here think you're too young? And I remember, I was like, oh my gosh, me, totally. I'm too young for this. He was like, well, I'm 25 and I make over $1 million, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to insert foot, mouth, what, okay. And so that's when I started really kind of thinking that maybe I should start sharing my story. Maybe I should start, talking about stuff. It's kind of like even with your testimony. I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to share my testimony. I'm not going to have a good testimony. I never got into drugs. I never went to jail. I wasn't, I didn't have
woohoo, huh, Mom?
Yeah. I never did anything like that. So what's testimony am I going to tell about, the Lord, what He did for me? But if you still do, you still have a story because somebody can still relate to what you're saying or what you went through. I mean, there are so many people out there that can relate to a heart condition or a medical condition, a medical issue, going through that. I mean, I can tell you right now, one of the reasons why I work so hard is because I've seen my parents go through having 3 people in our family get pacemaker defibrillators implanted, and it is like having houses in your body, having cars in your body. It's so expensive, and it's stressful. It's hard. It's just really, it'll totally change your life. I mean, when somebody comes to you and says, yeah, so you have a hereditary heart condition and you need a pacemaker and defibrillator implanted. But just think about it. You could just die in your sleep tonight. No big deal. Just let us know what you want to do. It's like, yeah, I think I'm going to have it put in. So it'll kind of change your world and turn it upside down. And so I feel like I started saying, I said this at our retreat that Carissa was with me at. I started saying, okay, you know what? That's the reason why I should do It Works. Because I'm not on the side of the road, and I don't want to be on the side of the road begging for my house to not be in foreclosure. I don't want to not be able to feed my children. I don't want to not have the things that they want or need. I don't want to lose my car. None of that. I don't want to not be able to provide medical care for everybody if we have, if they ever had something like happen or had something like I had. So those are the reasons why I didn't think I could work the business, which turned into the reasons why I absolutely had to do the business. So that kind of took a while for me. That was just in December. I know, it's true. I really did. I was like, oh my gosh, that's not an excuse. That's a reason why I absolutely should be that. Because I don't ever want to be like that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I want to keep from doing that. I want to keep from being at that point. So that's when it totally, people
light bulb moment.
Yeah, it was such a light bulb moment. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. Just because I haven't had that stuff happen to me.
And that's so amazing. You're 27 years old, and look, you've got it all figured out.
I don't know about that, but I am trying to figure it out.
But look what you've set your life up. It's just amazing.
Exactly. And so I've been listening to Jim Brown a lot lately, and I can quote his one. Oh, look, Eileen's calling. You can answer it. I can quote his whole CD verbatim because it's so amazing. But he says, I found a way to, this is when he was working part-time as a network marketer. He said, I found a way to work part-time, full-time on my job and part-time on my fortune. And I really just loved that. And I quit my job and after I went diamond and started doing this full-time. But he was like, I found a way to make money beyond my wildest imagination and be rich beyond my wildest imagination by the time I was 32. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And I just was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm 27. I'm going to be rich beyond my wildest imagination by the time I'm 32. Because that's years from now. So, I mean, I know for 100% sure that, I'm in my third year. I feel like usually it's around year 5 that it just is
exponential.
Because I'm telling you right now, people told me, oh, your third year will be the year. You don't understand. And it was back in probably the fall and everything, kind of when we started everything, the group, and then we went to the cabin in December with Pam Souter, and I'm telling you, right then, it was like, they were all like, oh, year 3, Jessica Abear told me, year 3, you just don't understand, something about that third year, and it was in March, that was my third year, and it was just like, ever since then, I went double diamond in April, and it was just like, I don't know, it's just like you start really getting it, and I had that revelation of, what Pam Souter said, to really, because we did this little, it was like this little ritual thing, and it was kind of silly at the time, and it was just like a game. We had this plunger, and we were sticking it on the table, okay? And it would go down, like you were gonna plunge it, like you were plunging something, so it would suction down to the table, and then as it would start to come up, it would fall over. And it would fall to either way or whichever. And it was just kind of a funny thing we were doing. And then we started saying things or really we started how it would follow the couples. So it would if one couple, the husband put down the plunger, it would point to his wife. And if the wife put it down, it would point to her husband. And it was just really, and they would be on opposite ends of the room and table, and it was really weird.
Wow.
We started paying attention to it, and then Pam started saying, no, I've got it. If it falls to you, you believe in your goal. So she would say, what's your goal? And she would do the plunger. She would put the plunger down on the table. And if it fell to that person, then they believed in their goal. And it was just kind of a silly thing. At first we were laughing, but then it started really doing it. And it was really falling. When the person would say their goal, it would really fall to them. And we really, all of a sudden, we were just so serious about it. And I'll never forget, she came to me and was like, what do you want? What's your goal? And I was like, I want to be presidential diamond. And at the time I was diamond. I was like, I want to be presidential diamond by the time, by the end of the year. And she was like, you don't believe that? And I was like, I just feel okay. It's a little I'm sorry, thinks I don't believe in my goal.
Can I have a do-over?
She's going to fire me. She's pulling corporate right now, I'm pretty sure. I was so tore up about it, y'all. And she was like, I don't believe that. And I was like, what do you mean? Yes, I do. And she was like, no, I can tell you don't believe it. Say something that you do believe. And I was like, well, I want to be double by March, I think. And she was like, you believe that? Because it was kind of outside, it was far out of my reach, kind of.
Yeah.
To presidential. Mm-hmm. It was only diamond, and for me to claim something as bold as presidential, it was kind of far, but I knew I wanted that to be my ultimate goal. And I said double, and she was like, yeah, you believe that? And I was like, okay, she was like, well, why don't you believe presidential? And I was like, well, it's just far and whatever. And she was like, but Lauren, you have to believe it. You cannot lie to yourself. You know you're lying. You cannot lie to yourself. So you have to believe your goal. You can't just say, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to get 10 distributors tomorrow. You have to believe it. You have to have a plan of action. And what was crazy, that was like an aha moment enough, okay? Then she took it a step further and was like, Jessica, do you believe that Lauren can go to presidential? And she was like, yes. Blair, do you believe that Lauren? Susie, do you believe, I can't even think, Stacy, this one, do you believe that she can? And everybody around the room was like, yes, Lauren, we love you, we believe in you, you're amazing. Well, first of all, that's not only enough to make you just want to cry, but then everybody was believing with me with my goal, and she put that plunger down, because we did the plunger, and it didn't go to me the first time when I said that. And that's why she said you didn't believe it. And then the next time she did it, it went right to me. So it wasn't only an aha moment that I needed to believe in my goals, but it was an aha moment that when other people believe with you, how amazing it is.
Better together.
You start believing even more in yourself. Wasn't that just
That's incredible.
I mean, we were all in tears. We were had goosebumps. I mean, we were just like, it was just the stupid plunger thing, you know? And if you weren't there, you really probably wouldn't even understand.
I think it's
It was
cool.
so cool that it just was, you know, just something funny and silly we were doing, and then all of a sudden we were just like really just turning into this like life lesson, and that's what we talked about last night. When I saw her, I was like, "You got your plunger, girl?" And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I recognize you now. You know, it's so good to see you." And she was like, that's what she told me about the book that she's reading, about the science behind your believing in your dreams and speaking life over. Yeah, the science behind the plunger. Because let me just tell you right now, when Pam Sauer did her plunger fortune, are you kidding me? She stepped right up. She goes, "I want a private jet." Boom. And it goes, I mean, it didn't even, like ours, like when she would stick it down, it would just like kind of like, and then eventually it would go down.
Wow.
Hers, like she put it down and it goes boop, right to her. And she goes, "That's right." I was like, oh my gosh, this woman is a boss. Not only is she like 7 feet tall, but she's just like, she believes it. She believes it. She knows it. She doesn't think it or wish it or whatever. She knows God is going to do that for her.
Every cell in her body.
So she started talking about this book that she was reading about the actual science behind that. And that there really is a reason why you speak life over yourself. You claim things. You put them out in the open and say them with your mouth and think them. Because she said, in this book, it says something like along the lines of, your body doesn't have a brain cell or an actual cell. Your body doesn't have a cell for what you don't speak. And it was so powerful. We were like,
Amazing.
oh my gosh.
We're coming up with it.
Yeah, we're trying to find the name of the book. She's going to message it to Jessica Hebert. But I'm telling you, it just totally changed. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. If we're not speaking it, if we're not claiming it, if we're not putting it into existence, how's our body ever going to know what to work on? How to do it. And so it was just like totally an eye-opener for me. So when we were going home, when we were driving home from that, we were planning everything. We're like, we're going to own that boat. We're going to own this car. We're going to have this thing. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We were like planning all these things because all of a sudden that changes everything for you. If you were going to get exactly what you thought you were saying up until this point, what would it be?
Wow.
If you were going to get right now what you've been saying for the past 24 hours, what would it be? Would it be you're going to be ambassador, you're going to be whatever, you're going to be top money earner, you're going to go to Dash? What would it be? For me, it wouldn't probably be that great.
What is it? Just name it.
I mean, probably, I don't even know what goals I've set. I don't even know if I've set a triple diamond or anything. I said presidential before, but I don't even know if I've said that. I mean, I'm not even saying that to myself. Now, when I'm at home, it's different. I have presidential plastered everywhere. I have $20,000 a month. You know, by the end of this year, I have like weight goals and everything. But I mean, that's true. I mean, if you were to get what you just said, you know, in the past 24 hours, what would it be? So we just started saying all this stuff. I mean, but again, you cannot lie to yourself. So you have to believe it. You have to truly think it and then make a plan. And normally, you know, if it's a it works goal, you have the steps to success and we have a way to, you know, we have a plan for that. But with anything in life. And I think that really hit me hard last month when Dad said, because now that I've hit double diamond, it's kind of like, you know, whenever you hit a rank, you're kind of like, oh, okay, I can breathe, you know.
But not for too long, though. Then you're ready for the next one.
So
well, after you hit a rank, it feels like you kind of settle into it. And if you don't push, you can really settle into that rank.
Yes.
If you don't,
so I think that's what I had done for the first, like, this is my, third or fourth month of double, and I think my dad kind of detected it a little because he said to me last month, at the end of the month, I had a girl go diamond, and that was one of my goals. And then one of my other goals was for 2 rubies, I think, and we had more than 2, but 2 personally enrolled. And so he said, well, what were your goals for this month? Did you hit your goals? And even though I didn't have those 2, it kind of hit me, like, what were my own personal goals?
Yeah.
Like, what were they?
It makes a difference.
Yeah. What did I? I don't know.
Maybe I did it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember.
This month?
Yeah. And so that really hit me too. You do have to, yes, believing it is one part, but also like actually having a plan and putting it out there, writing down, okay, today I'm going to call 10 people. What is my goal for today? You know, I'm going to sign up 1 customer. I'm going to talk to 3 distributors or something. And I'm going to follow up with my team or whatever. What is your goal for the day, for the week, for the month? So that you can, it's like your steps, you know, so that you can remember to do them. So that was big, because I think that was, I did kind of settle in. I mean, double was hard. I think emerald and double are hard to get to. I mean, it's like,
because from emerald to diamond is just a skip.
Yeah.
Just a skip.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
But all of a sudden, when you're trying to go diamond, I mean double, you've got to pull a diamond out of nowhere, man.
I'm working on it this month.
Yeah. Yes. Well, we're doing that for you right now.
Yes.
But emerald too is hard. I feel. Emerald's a hard
Just
one.
pop up the
Diamond
diamond,
will
honey.
get discouraged around emerald.
Yeah.
Because they're just got one ruby, and the next thing you know, they're having to pull a ruby out of their hat, which isn't that hard, but it's like a mental, I feel like.
It totally is.
The emerald is just harder.
We're periscoping, Jeff. You want to say hi?
Oh, she's a really good cook.
She is